Go ahead. Sorry.
Alright, Shalom. Alright, this is the GMS Plaintables Camp. Alright, first and foremost, we'd like to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yakalba Page. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us His truth, and peace salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Alright, today, as you can see, what's currently trending. One of the things is, the death of, the Queen Elizabeth. The second, Queen Elizabeth II. All right.
But that's not the real royalty.
Right, yeah, kind. And hey, a lot of people, is rejoicing about the death, all right, kind of celebrating her a little bit because, they knew how wicked she was and how wicked, her family and her true lineage is from, all right. Got plenty of people, like I think it's a trend, it's like R.I.P. Bozo, something like that. All right, but hey, these people are starting to, wake up and understand who the wicked is. All right, which brother got any one of the precepts? Kind.
So you can talk. Well, they're not the real tribe of Judah. That's the king. The scriptures say that the scepter should not depart from Judah. So Judah is supposed to be was the original on their father's side were the original kings of Ireland, Scotland, and England. All right, not the Edomites. All right, through marriage on the mother's side is how they got the throne. And not through the lineage of Judah on their father's side. All right, and that's one of the theories I've heard, but they can't be the royal seed of Judah on their father's side.
Yeah, that's right.
Genesis 49 tells you that the scepter should not depart from Judah. All right, but.
This is the book of Daniel. This is like, cause I use some of the scriptures I was doing the lesson. This is Daniel chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 20. So it says, this is Daniel chapter 2 and 20.
Oh, give somebody else that scripture.
Okay.
You focus on the instance.
Oh, okay.
Give somebody, get the brother that scripture. So
Daniel 2 verse 20. Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of our power forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his."
Yeah, that's right. Wisdom and might, that's Yahweh. That's who has it is Yahweh Shemel-Shai. All right, and Yahweh Shemel-Shai has given, has woken up from the apostles on down. All right, because the apostles are the one, who the Lord, we believe that the Lord, all right, is opening up the 100% truth to. All right, and the apostles, all right, are giving these, different brothers, all right, in the GMS camps the knowledge, all right, in order to be saved. All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 21, and he changes the times and the seasons, and he removeth kings and set above kings, and he giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding.
That's right. So these different political figures, who's dying, all right, these different, highly esteemed, people in the world, all right, that's the Most High, all right, that's the Most High bringing these people down, all right, recently we were seeing a lot of death, all right, like you had the dude, the Memphis dude come around just shooting people, all right, and that was a Jake, all right, so the Lord is putting, the spirit of death, the death angel on a lot of these people, all right, and, is there any more on that?
One more. Verse 22, he revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him.
That's right. You see a lot of these people, like the Queen Elizabeth, for example. There's a lot of stuff she was trying to sweep under the rug, all right? A lot of stuff she was trying to keep on the low, all right? But hey, man, these Edomites, these different elites, all right? The Lord is revealing them, all right? The Lord is revealing them to be the wicked, all right? Because these are the last days, all right? So the Lord, is going to show who the wicked is, which is the Edomites, all right? Starting with the elites, all right? But hey, as a whole nation, the Edomites is the wicked. All right. So you have one? You have one now?
Yeah, I had Sirach 39 and 28. It says, Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
That's right. Spirits created for vengeance. You know, these people wonder why, you know, just random people just come out and just, you know, shooting shit up. All right, killing people. All right. Or why did he do this to these people? Or why? It's because you know, Yakalba Page set it up that way. All right, spirits of vengeance. All right, nothing just happens for no reason. All right, you could have gotten judged for something you did in the past life. All right.
Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
That's right. You know, hey, it's a time for everything to happen. All right. The Lord set everything up, you know, with the prophecies. All right. Everything has to happen. All right. Certain things have to happen in order for them to come back. All right. So these are one of the things that has to happen. All right. Everybody understanding that, you know, Esau is the wicked. All right. Everybody's getting sick of Esau, even the other nations. All right. Any more on that?
Yeah. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
That's right. You know, hey, you know, we understand that, you know, hey, everything that goes on in the world, all right, this is the Lord's play. All right, this is the Lord's movie. All right, so the Lord set up everything from the beginning of time, all right, for certain things to happen. All right, from the beginning of time, you know, the Lord set up his elect. All right, you know, the Lord already knows who his elect is. You know, we don't know who the elect is. All right, but the elect is already chosen. All right, now, you know, we need the prophecies to happen. All right, in order for the, you know, the elect, the elect to come out. All right.
Verse 3, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up.
That's right. So, you know, it's a time for everything. All right. You know, at certain times, you know, the Lord's gonna have something happen, all right, either to send a message, all right, or to, you know, do whatever it is that is according to his will, all right? So, yeah, that was it. All right.
Yeah, Isaiah 14 and 12.
Isaiah 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
Yeah, this is a small example, you know, of Esau being put to death or dying. All right. The scripture, what scripture says that the houses, they should think that the houses shall continue forever. Psalms. All right. So this is a small example that understand that these elite or these puppets that are set up as figureheads are mortal. They can't live forever. All right. And eventually, his whole kingdom is going to fall. It's going to be just like the so-called queen. All right, which means when you look it up, it means whore. All right, it don't mean a title of nobility and all that. All right, yeah, it goes back to whore because we don't have any queens in Israel. All right, that's a corruption. All right, because when our people ruled, say Great Britain, which is what. Yeah, Britannia, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England. That wasn't the perfection of Judah. All right, that was just Israel was still asleep. All right, so when they took over and ruled, the Edomites, when they became more fair-skinned through intermarriage, they didn't keep the original customs. All right. When King James was in office, he wasn't keeping the original customs. All right? The Lord put the Spirit on him to make a better translation because there was already an English translation out. All right? Make a better translation of the Hebrew Bible. All right? But that wasn't Israel in his perfection. All right? You only had certain groups of Israelites that were ruling in certain pockets in Europe. All right, then you had the Edomites that were going amongst Israel and intermarrying with them. All right, and then you had certain Israelites that even propped up certain Edomites. All right, I did a lesson on that a little while ago about certain Italian Israelites, all right, that forwarded Caucasian supremacy. All right, because sometimes when you biracial, how you were raised, you tend to conform to the current system. All right, now you had a lot of Morenos or Moors or Moros that were in Italy. This is an example, you know, how, say, the vestige and our family line got diluted was you had so-called biracial marriages. All right, they became more fairer skinned, and you had certain Edomites that were in power, like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, all right, and others. And our people that were descendants of the Moors conformed to the Edomite way, so to speak. That's the best way I can describe it. All right, and then over the generations, they continue in those same wicked traditions. All right, and that's why you get the Sistine, I believe how you pronounce it, Sistine Chapel, which is basically, I think, a church with a bunch of paintings on it. You know, with Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, I believe they contributed to, amongst, I believe, hundreds of other painters. They contributed to that Edomite supremacy. You got some of them that were purebred Edomites. You had some of them that were descendants of the Moors, but they were all grouped together. All right.
Inward thoughts.
Yeah. Go
Psalms 49 verse 11.
Mm.
Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They called their lands after their own name.
Right, and go back to Isaiah 14. And that's what Esau does. He steals a land and he takes it. I don't necessarily mean that he renames the land, but that's true also. But it means also that he took the land. So if you have a name of a street called, let's say, Conshohocken or Tappahocken, those are Gadite names. All right, but he owns the neighborhood. He owns the area. So it don't just mean he renamed the land. It means that he took that land, like the Delaware. That's a Gadite name. All right, but he owns the actual river. He owns the actual area. You have something called the Delaware Valley. All right. Esau owns that land. Now he called the land after their own names. All right. So go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah 14 verse 12. Start over again. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
And remember, Lucifer is referring to Esau, the Edomites, not referring to Satan, the actual chief demon, Satan. It's referring to the Edomites, the people. All right. And you can look up the definition on Lucifer. Go read it.
Isaiah 14 verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
And that's the future prophecy. All right. So right now, Esau's kingdom is gradually being grinded into powder.
Shalom, brothers.
Good. Shalom.
How you doing?
Okay. Go ahead. Read.
Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above.
Break it down. Right? No, break it down.
Verse 13. Isaiah 14 verse 13. Thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the heavenly Father. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation on the sides of the north.
Yeah, that's right. Because we understand, Esau, he's trying to be like the Most High. Like, you got these different elites already set up. All right, they died these really old ages and whatnot. All right, they're trying to be immortal. They're trying to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they're trying to, be above the Most High. They're trying to, when they implement that, the implant.
Right.
All right. He wants to watch over everybody, see what you're doing at all times, and if you're not going by his way, all right, he'll hit you with that the kill switch.
Yeah. Another example of that is he set up kings. Yep. That's what the Most High. That's what the Bible say, right?
Oh yeah.
Esau setting up kings. You said you got that?
Yeah.
He set up kings, and that's what Esau tries to do. He goes around to different countries and he sets up dictators. All right, that's another example of him trying to be like the Most High, be like the power Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, he sets up these different figures, these different political dudes. He'll even set up a Jake to lead his people astray. All right, in order to conform to Esau's laws.
You got it?
No, it's back. I do, but
Look up Lucifer also.
yeah, I have the Lucifer. If you
Yeah,
want
go
now.
read it.
Yeah, so the word for Lucifer, go back to the Hebrew word, which is Hayalog, which means going into a light bearer, also morning star. All right. Yeah, that's it right there.
Light.
Which, of course, going into it, Esau, they contribute themselves to be illuminated, right? They can see through the darkness, all the ignorance and such. Of course, they claim us to be pretty much in that ignorant seat and such like that, right? But they say they the bearers of the light and such, but obviously on the left-hand side. All right, so this Lucifer is talking about Esau, Edom coming down. All right, because also we know that Yahushua is also known as what? The day star, right? You read that in Revelation and such, but that's in righteousness. All right, and we are children of the light as well too. So hey, gotta get understanding.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta get that proper understanding of the scriptures. All right. People, the average person who reads that, they'll think it's like some devil with red horns and whatever the case may be.
Christ is going to come and slaughter, send Esau, send Satan to hell or something, and lock him in there forever. That's what they think. They're going to lock him in the gates of hell forever, but he allowed him to reign for a season. That's what people believe.
But that goes back to what, Hades? Particular.
Yeah, different mythologies. You got Dante's Inferno. That's one theory. You got that's Dante's Inferno. I think that's one of the main theories. And you got the Greek. I think Dante is Latin, if I'm not mistaken, and Hades is Greek. That's the Greek mythology. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what these people think. All right, and really, if you think these different things, you think these different doctrines, then hey, that's like an idol worship. You got to proper understanding. All right, and you think Lucifer, which is you think is the devil, I guess some demon, the head of the demon is just gonna go in like some boxing match with Yahushua. That's not the case, man. All right, Lucifer is the Edomites. All right, or is basically the spirit of the Edomites. All right.
Yeah, another lie they say is Satan know he going to hell, so he got to get as many souls as he can. I know y'all all heard this shit, right? He got to get as many souls as he can to bring with him, So he know he gonna burn forever. So he got to get as many souls as he can, so he won't be there by himself. That's all stories. It's old Israelite fables. Or scripture say old Jewish fables. Folk tales. It's just made up shit from the Roman Catholic Church, from other denominations. That is made up. All right, it's not real. The Bible don't say that. All right, when it says about Satan being locked up, it's referring to the Edomites, people. They're Satan, I believe, pursuing the Malachi. Yeah, Revelation 20, but it says Malachi. It tells you that he's the border of wickedness, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that's the Edomites, and it's prophesied and written in the history that you're supposed to destroy the Edomites when you see them. Well, Judah, Israel, when you see the Edomites, you're supposed to destroy them. Right? That's why David had a campaign against Esau. All right? Different Israelite kings had campaigns against the Edomites. All right? Because they were wicked. They were doing demonic, evil shit. All right?
Yeah, believing in these myths and theories is all the part of being drunk from the wine that references fornication. Drunk off that wine.
And they, go look at the word devil. It also means, deceiver as well. Right? That's what Esau does best, deceive the people. All right, deceive you, make you think one way is right. Really, you're just going to his way. You're just going to the left-hand side. All right?
That's why it's called the devil, right? That's why we relate him to the devil. The devil means to deceive, right? Deceive. Yeah. He's the ultimate deceiver, man.
I got a quick precept on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
That's right. You know, these Edomites, you know, go as far as trying to say that they were the true Israelites. You know, got the little hats or whatever, trying to say that, you know, that was their land or whatever the case. But when you read the Bible, all right, it says otherwise. All right, it says, you know, the true Israelites were not going to be in that land, you know, during this time. All right, you know, it's the you know, the little hats. All right, and that's another way of you know, deceiving Jacob to make it seem like, you know, they're inferior to them. All right?
Yeah, that's why they call themselves Jewish. You claim Jew, but you're not Jew. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's a twofold scripture. Break down the other part.
Yeah.
Read it again.
This is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
Right. So, but read.
Which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
Right. But first, it's referring to Israelites that are fit posers that profess that they are the sons of the Most High, and they're really using Edomite breakdowns. They're using Edomite doctrines and modern viewpoints to come up with their ideologies, their points. So they claim to be the sons of the Most High, which they biologically are Israelites, all right, and their spirit is of Israel, but they're not doing the things that the Most High said to do. But they still claim to be of the stock of Israel. That's why the scriptures also say that they are not all Israel which are of Israel. I mean, meaning you have an elect. That's what it simply means. They're not all Israel which are of Israel, which means that you have an elect amongst the Israelites, all right? And you have 2/3, which that's in America, all right? When you read about the 2/3, it's referring to 2/3 of Israel being destroyed in Babylon, America. You're going to have Israelites destroyed outside of America. You're going to have Israelites saved outside of America. Which it tells you that in Revelation, the 7th chapter, about the great multitude, which no man can number. Nah, finish reading Isaiah. Yeah, I get through that first.
Isaiah 14, verse 14. I will send above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
That's right. So, you know, Esau, you know, he's gonna come out, all right, you know, try to enforce his will on everybody, all right. But at the end of the day, all right, he's not gonna get the Lord's elect, all right. And during that time, all right, you know, it's gonna come a certain time where Esau's kingdom is brought down, all right, where Esau's kingdom will be no more, all right. You know, once the elect is saved, and Yahushua comes back, you know, it's gonna be over for this kingdom, all right. Once the missiles hit, all right, it's gonna be over.
All right, now break down hell. Get hell and break it down. Look up hell and then break hell down. All right, so we just speaking about it. And he just said the word. So break it down so people understand what that means.
Yep. So 1, 2. That'd be Slaki. That's back at Isaiah 14, right? Yeah, 14. So going to that word for hell, which yeah, so that word in the Hebrew is going to be shawwal, right? Which shawwal goes into, of course, a grave. Right?
That's what it means. It means the grave. All right, shawwal means the grave. All right, you don't need to read anymore. All right, it means the grave, and figuratively, it means a state of mourning and extreme poverty, slavery, a bad time. All right, so it means the grave, and figuratively it means a bad time, slavery, a destruction. Whoa. All right, because Esau, he's going to hell. When he goes into slavery, that's going to be his hell. All right, and he's going to be dead. All right, I mean figuratively dead. All right, because he doesn't have any understanding. It tells you that in Proverbs. All right? He's not going to have anything. He's not going to own anything, and he's not going to be happy. So that's the grave. That shall be brought down to hell. So read that precept again.
Yeah, if I can say too,
There you go.
when you go into that Hebrew word sha'awal, right, the H87585, you can see all the applications where that word sha'awal, the Hebrew word, is used. A lot of times when that Hebrew word is used, you'll see the word grave or pit, okay? And in some applications, hell, but like the brother says, it's literally a grave. So when you look at H7585, you'll see that application of for grave, pit, and hell
Well,
to mean grave.
Read it.
Yep. So this is Genesis. I'm gonna just read a quick one. This is Genesis 37 and 35, where they use H7585. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, "For I will go down into the grave, into my son mourning." Thus his father wept for him, meaning the grave, meaning the pit, right? Because he was weeping for those that lost.
Yeah, I mean the earth.
Yep.
All right. Hades means the earth, the ground, the grave. When you look the word up, that's the root of the word. Now they've put the Greek mythology on top of it,
Exactly.
on top of the word.
Exactly.
But the root, the word means I believe the ground or the earth or the grave.
Yep.
All right.
And it's important to note that there's a lot of Greek mythology that's still used today, but everybody knows it as to be Greek mythology, right? Like there's a lot of applications where come with movies and stuff like that where they use Greek mythology, and everybody understands it's Greek mythology, but that hell is 100% Greek mythology, but they try to make it seem like that's a real thing. Like that's a real thing that came out of the scriptures. That didn't come out of the scriptures.
Yeah, those are made up stories that say Israelites made up when they were living amongst the Japhet or Yawan. All right.
I got one more precept for grave. This is 1 Samuel 2 and 6. It says, "The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave." That word grave is H7585. Sha'awal. It says, "and bringeth up." There you have it.
Yeah.
And you have applications where men have died, right? Went to the grave, and the spirit, the Lord went back into them. They rose back from the dead.
Well, the scriptures say that thou shalt not suffer my soul to stay in hell.
Yep.
Referring to the Lord. All right. I remember when I was in high school, I asked a Jehovah's Witness that, and they didn't even break it down to me correctly. I said, it said the Bible said Jesus went to hell, and they didn't break it down to me the right way. So when you looked at it, might as well get where it said that. It said, "Thou shalt not suffer a soul to stay in hell." That's how you know hell is not talking about you burning forever. It means the grave. Sha'awal.
Yeah, exactly.
Find that precept.
And grave, right? And sha'awal is synonymous with just death, which is dying, right? And it has nothing to do with your spirit going anywhere. Because like the scriptures say, your spirit goes back to the Father, right? So here's another application of sha'awal where basically you can see that death and grave and death and sha'awal are just synonymous, right? You die and you go to your pit, or your grave. This is Psalms 6 and 5. "For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks? In sha'awal, who's going to give you thanks? No one, because you're dead. Your spirit, goes back up to the Most High, and there's no remembrance really of you when you're in that grave. There's nothing you can do. You can't take nothing with you, right?
I got a quick precept to back that up.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Say what you're going to say. Go ahead.
All right, this is Revelation 20 and 13. "And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works."
Yeah, so those are people. That's a good point.
Yeah, and then
All right, get that precept?
Yeah, Psalm 16
Whole
verse 10.
hell. Go
"For
ahead.
thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption."
All right, get the word. Yakalba Page.
For hell,
Yeah. You said that was Psalm 16? You read the 10th verse?
Mine, you read the 16th.
yeah, 10.
What's the word? What's the H number?
Yep.
Joel.
What's the H number?
H number H7585.
That's the same one?
Yeah.
All right, so read the precept again.
Psalm 16 verse
That's how
10.
you know it's not talking about you're going to go to the nether realms and suffer in like an eternal, the earth. I was taught that when I first learned about Israel, very long, it's the year 2000, it's a coincidence, that the Lord was going to take out the earth's core, and that's where everybody's going to go and die and go to hell at. Gonna take out the earth's core. This is from smoked out Israelites. They believe in the smoking and all that. There's certain Israelites believe in, you know, smoking weed or whatever.